Okay, so this YouTube thing has not been all fun and games for the year and a half that I've been doing it. So I've got a few stories to tell and let you know kind of what the positives have been, what the negatives have been as far as me going to one of these dealerships and filming, going to auctions and filming, and showing you guys the back end of what the car market looks like. So I've gotten kicked out of some auctions, one auction, not plural. I've had multiple auctions ask me to delete some videos. I have been run off of a dealership, so I'll tell you all about that today. But there's also been some really positive things that I've experienced with my business too. We've had customers that have come from states and states away to actually come buy cars from our car dealership, just because we're transparent and because we offer a vehicle that's under $5,000 and in a non-rusty location. So we've had a customer come from Michigan all the way down here to North Carolina to come buy a $3,000 Ford Taurus from us, because you just can't find that up there. So we have been able to benefit in some capacity from having this YouTube stuff. And keep in mind, I don't even advertise my business. I don't want to be that car dealer that's trying to give you information, but also trying to push my product while I'm trying to give you this information on YouTube, because I know from a consumer side, from a viewer standpoint, if you think I'm trying to be this car dealer is trying to sell you a car literally in one of my videos, you're not going to be able to use that information. So this is why I don't push out our dealership. And two, I mean, we already get tons of calls. We already get people that just show up at our dealership because they've found it, however, whatever way they've been able to find it. And my staff just they can't handle the amount of volume that it would increase as far as calls and people just showing up wanting to see me or whatever. I've had people send me letters to my dealership. I've been able to read that. That's very nice. I've had viewers send me gifts to our dealership. We had one guy sent me hand sanitizer because I go through all these auction cars and they are nasty, 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 and you can see that on our videos. And he was concerned about my cleanliness and my sanitation level. And so he sent me a hand sanitizer little pack that I could wear around my neck. It was very funny. I had another guy get me some razor blades that actually had a handle, because he saw me taking off numbers off of our cars with just like a straight blade, and he was worried about my fingertips. So stuff like that really makes me, it puts a connection between me and the camera. Usually when I'm out there, I don't think about the actual people that are behind the camera when I'm actually filming. And I can be, say, performing, I can be informing, whatever, entertaining, whatever you want to call what I do, for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And there's no connection as far as what I'm doing while I'm out there. I feel like I'm talking to this little stupid box with my reflection in it, and you don't really think about the viewer that's on the other side when you're out there filming. So it's nice when I have these personal interactions. That's why I like doing a lot of these live streams, is because I can actually interact with you as a viewer and answer your questions here live, and be able to have that interaction. I don't have that when I'm just doing these videos that we edit, cut up, and it doesn't feel like there's people on the other side of that camera. So the personal interactions are good. That's the positive side. So let's talk about some of the negatives. And yes, I did get kicked out of an auction. Yes, they did make me delete videos. I'll talk about that later on in this video. But my very first interaction with some kind of negative that I've had to deal with being on YouTube is with CarMax. So I do a lot of videos with CarMax, cover their earnings, whatever. I go to their lots. That's not the problem. So because all that's public information, right? I'm just basically regurgitating what they just said on their earnings call. I'm giving my opinion on it, and then I'm showing their cars. It's really free publicity for them. They're not going to kick me off their lot for that, because I'm literally showing their price. It's free advertising. So they probably like that I do that, honestly. But what I did the first time, this was when I was very small. I had less than probably 10,000 subscribers at the time, but this was my first video that ever took off. I was showing a CarMax auction, and I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to film or whatever behind the gate to where the dealers are. And I don't even know that they had that in their bylaws. I didn't have like it was really no problem. I just had the manager from the store that I was at that saw the video. I don't know how he saw the video. I guess he just searches for CarMax all the time. But we posted that video that I was going over earnings, showing the auction at CarMax, and it blew up overnight. And blow up for us then was like 60,000 views in a night. Now that's a bad video for us. A good video that we'll put out in a night will get like 200,000 views, but and a bad one somewhere around 100,000 views. But that video at the time when we were that small, I was only getting like probably 5 to 10,000 views per video, and we got 60,000 views overnight. So it jumped up in his feed because he had seen CarMax stuff. But anyway, he was a manager at the store, and he called me. He figured out who I was just because of the cars I was showing that I just bought. I guess he was able to look up run numbers and then associate it back to me and be able to pull my actual cell phone number. But he called me and said, Brandon, you know what? We probably shouldn't have this video on the internet. He was super nice about it. And he said, if you want to film, it might be okay, but we need to go through marketing. We got to do all this stuff. And it's probably better until we actually deal with marketing that you probably take this video down until we do that. So, no problem. He was super nice about it. And there was some stuff I was complaining about that auction while I was there, like the cars being too close. You couldn't move. You couldn't open the doors on some of the cars. This was the time period where they were getting so many trade-ins because there were so many sales going through the market. This was a year and a half ago. So their cars just sitting everywhere, piled up on top of each other. And he said, and this problem that you're talking about that we need to fix. So these cars, we're going to fix it. We know that you as a buyer, you buy a lot of cars. We want to make sure that you stay happy, and we're going to fix this problem. So that was some good that came out of it. And I actually had more respect for CarMax after I had that interaction with them. But that was the first run-in that when I was looking at this YouTube stuff, like, oh, this is a real thing. If somebody from a manager at CarMax is calling me because they just happened to find my video, yeah, we're doing something here. The next situation that we ran into is I started going to a bunch of dealerships and showing prices. I was showing market adjustment, showing things that I didn't like. And now with these dealerships, most of the time when I'm going there, I'm talking about problems that I have with the manufacturer, and I'm showing MSRPs and what a lot of these vehicles look like and what a lot of these dealerships are selling them for, what a lot of their MSRPs are. And a lot of the things that I say might, you might not realize it, but a lot of these franchise managers, a lot of these dealerships, these negative things I'm saying about the manufacturers that they have to deal with, they agree with me on a lot of this stuff. And that's why most of the time, I get a lot of questions saying, why don't these dealerships just kick you off? I'll go back to the same thing with CarMax. This is free advertising for these dealerships. When I put out one of these videos, it goes in front of hundreds of thousands of people. And they usually have to pay lots and lots of money to make commercials, to show their prices, to show people where they are. And I'm doing it for them for free. Now, I might have something that I don't like at the dealership, and I'll point that out. So they might not like that, but really, I'm just showing exactly what's on their window sticker. It's not anything different than a customer could walk up on their lot and see. I'm just showing it to a whole bunch of people. So that's why these dealerships, they're okay with me being there, because it's free advertising for them. And I can guarantee that there's been people go to these dealerships and buy cars because they saw a particular car I was showing on my video and they saw the price of it. So yeah, they're fine with it. But there was one dealership that I showed some market adjustments on one video, and I went back to their dealership, and there was a salesperson that did not like me. And that's to say it lightly. As soon as I got there, he ran out of the building. I can't remember if there was any cursing or anything, but he was yelling, "You're lying about us. You need to get off. We're going to call the cops. Get out here." And I just tried to say, I said, "Look, okay, if I'm lying about something, or if I'm saying something that doesn't seem to be true about your dealership, please let me know." And he would not hear anything and just kept yelling and yelling and yelling. I just stood there, and finally, I guess it's probably the sales manager. He seemed to be in a manager kind of role, but he got the salesperson back inside, and he started talking to me. He was calm and cool. He said, "Look, you just we can't have you here filming. You put out some videos about us in a negative light, and we can't have you here." And I said, "Well, he was saying that I was lying about something, and I would love to know, because I'm all about transparency, right? If I am misleading a consumer in a certain way about your dealership, what you have on your stickers or whatever, then let me know." He said, "Well, if you check our website, this is not what the price." I said, "Well, I get that. I understand that you can have a different price on your website than you can on your stickers. Why would you not just take the market adjustments off of your stickers? Why don't you? I mean, because I'm showing what a consumer walking up here would see." And he just kept saying, "Check our website, check our website." So obviously, I wasn't going to get anywhere there. And they said, "Okay, but really, you got to leave, or we're going to call the cops." So I left that dealership. I stood behind it for, I don't know how long. There's like a Walmart or something behind it, parking lot. I stood out there with full intention to film myself pointing at this dealership, saying what just happened, because obviously I was irritated at the moment. But then I had the wisdom to call my lovely, reasonable, logically thinking wife and say, "Okay, baby, here's what I think I'm going to do, but I want to get your opinion on it, because this is what a successful married couple does. They talk through somewhat dumb ideas sometimes, and let the other person tell us what we need to maybe not do." So she really talked me off of what I was working through and the aggravation that I was feeling with this dealership. And we decided as a team that we were not going to film a video and put it out there. Now, I did the next day do a video where I just went back to my shop and said, "Okay, this is what happened." And I actually went to another dealership. I can just say the brand. It was a Nissan dealership. I went to another Nissan dealership that was only 10 or 15 minutes away. And it turns out this Nissan dealership, even in the midst of all the craziness where all the market adjustments were happening, they did not have one single market adjustment on any of their cars. I was like, "This is weird. Let me go in and talk to a salesperson." It's like, "Yeah, we've never had a market adjustment. We've never charged for nitrogen. We think that stuff is all junk, and we will never, never, ever, ever, ever charge any of that to any of our customers." And that's what the ownership feels like. And what it turned out to be is that I was able to form a friendship with this Nissan dealership. And we made a video. I don't know if you've seen it on our main channel, but where I interviewed the GM of the dealership, and he was completely transparent about what they're going through right now, inventory struggles. Talked about during the last 3 years what they have done, and it was really become that this big negative of me getting kicked off of this dealership turned into a massive positive, because I was able to form this friendship with this GM. And because of that, I'm able to bounce ideas back and forth, interview him, and find out really what's going more so in the market, just by having him as a way to ask things. "Okay, all right, what are you seeing at your dealership? What are customers coming in? What kind of negative equity are you seeing from your dealership?" I'm able to do that now. So I love that this happened. I don't like that dealership treated me the way that they did, or that they treat their customers the way that they do. But it was a big positive for me to be able to shine light on this other dealership and get a lot of videos out of it, and give people information on, okay, here's a dealership that they do these things. And because they charge these market adjustments, they charge for nitrogen, whatever. This is probably not a dealership that you want to go to. But in a one town over, in just 10, 15 minutes away from this same Nissan dealership, there's literally another Nissan dealership that's not doing any of this. They're a good dealership, and it just shed a light on, okay, if you have a car that you want to buy and you go to a dealership and they're trying to charge you crazy things, guess what? There's going to be another dealership, probably not too far away from that one, that's going to treat you fairly. And it's a good, just a good difference to be able to see in real time. And obviously, the dealership that was being shady, that was charging market adjustments, that was charging for nitrogen, obviously it shows you they don't want to be filmed. They don't want to be on camera. They don't want them showing the price gouging happen from one of my videos. But the other dealership that's doing the right thing, they welcomed me in and gave me an interview with their GM, and was very transparent. And guess what? they've got quite a bit of business from being able to do that and being in front of these couple 100,000 people, to be able to show that they're a dealership that wants to do the right thing. So, um, great thing that came out of that. Oh, let's go to the next thing. So, videos getting deleted. You know what? No, we'll go to that, because then I'll talk about me getting kicked out of a auction after that one. So this was still pretty early. This might have been a year ago. There's a dealership, I mean, not a dealership, but an auction that I really like going to. And I'm still able to go to that one, no problem. But this was when we were growing, and we're growing pretty quickly. But I was showing the auction inside these auctions, every single auction. And I'm not the first one that's done it, and I'm not the only one that is doing this. It's happening all the time. It just happened to be that my videos were getting lots of views, and this is why I would get punished for this kind of thing. And I mean, nobody else is really going to, because it's all about eyeballs, right? If no one's getting eyeballs, no one cares. But as soon as I'm getting views, that's when people are concerned about what I'm showing, if they don't want to be transparent, or if they just want the privacy. That's completely fine, no problem. But anyway, went to this auction, and I had a video pop off, and it got probably, I think, 700, 800,000 views. And this is a bigger auction. They have multiple locations, and so it got to where somebody at corporate saw my video. Like, oh, I know that auction. We can't be doing that. So I had the GM of the auction call me and say, okay, look, I know you're a big buyer here, and if you weren't a big buyer here, we would just automatically kick you out. But we want your business still, but we just need you not to film here, and any videos that you filmed here, they need to be taken down. So I said, yes, ma'am, because I would like to still buy here. So all those videos got immediately taken down, and I haven't filmed at that auction anymore. But it's just a thing of, I mean, if you get views, you're going to get attention, and if they don't like it, if it's any kind of negative light or anything like that, then it's I mean, it's in their best interest probably to not have me film at that auction, if things are going down that maybe they shouldn't. I'm not saying that this auction is not, but it really protects them, especially if it's a bigger organization. I can understand that completely. But no hard feelings against that auction. They treated me with respect. Just please do this. You can't film here or whatever. Keep coming and buying our cars and paying us our auction fees, but just don't film any more videos here. So no problem. That was done, and that was done about a year ago. But the big one, where I did get kicked out, they didn't, which was weird. They didn't request that I take the videos down. So those videos are still up. You can see all of those videos. But it's a big auction. It's one of the top two, and I have never filmed at Mannheim, so it is not Mannheim. But I went to this auction. Is a bigger auction. Filmed a lot of stuff, a lot of bank repo stuff going through the auction, just like I do these other videos, just a bigger scale. And just like the other auction, had a video pop off, and it got like, I think it's like 1 million views almost. It might be 700 or 800, somewhere around there. And I guess corporate they were aware of it. The problem with this company, though, is that this auction company got bought out by a big publicly traded company, and this big publicly traded company is, in my opinion, not a very good company. And their stock price has reflected it over the last 2.5, 3 years. And I'm just going to talk about what's happening in the market, and I can't not talk about a big publicly traded company that also owns an auction company. The problem is there's a lot of negatives that come associated with this auction when this publicly traded company bought them out. And so this publicly traded company sells a lot of cars online, and a lot of franchise dealers see them as the enemy. So what happened was, whenever they got bought out by this company, a lot of the franchise dealers pulled out, and this auction became a pretty bad auction. Now, it wasn't great before. They always had the highest of the highest fees. They always had more of the junkier kind of cars. I buy cars that are $5,000 and under, and I'm even saying that. So when they got bought out, we saw a lot of franchise dealers pull out. So you saw a lot of trade-ins leave from the auction. So then they were left with repossessed cars for the most part. And like these websites that will buy, they'll say they'll buy your car and then they'll give you an offer and then they'll send those cars straight to auction. Those kind of cars. And those aren't the best cars. So and they were never good titles. That was another big deal with this auction. So, of any of the auctions for me to get kicked out of, this was the one. And I actually didn't know that I was kicked out of it until a few months ago, and it actually happened about a year ago that I was kicked out. And the reason being is because I stopped going there because the auction was terrible. So yeah, the junky cars, I didn't want to go there, worried about title issues, whatever. That's why I stopped going. But we came up to tax time and I'm like, okay, well, we've got to expand our range of what we're buying. So you know what? I'll go back to the junky auction and see if I can buy some more cars. And it turns out that I went online to see about looking at some cars or whatever, and it said that our registration has been revoked or whatever. Didn't give us a reason. But we found out the day that it was revoked, and it was the day after I posted like one of those big videos. So we put two and two together. And so here's the thing. This auction company, I'm not saying the name, but I mean, you know who I'm talking about. I still get calls and emails like every other week. Oh, why, Brandon, why are you coming back? I said, well, I'd love to come back. You just let me know why I can't come back. And I never get email response or a call, but I literally get called like every other week, and I get emailed like every other week saying, okay, we want you to come back. Well, okay. Well, tell me why I've my access has been revoked, and then we can work on that from there. So please just take me off the mailing list. I'm tired of answering those calls and having the same conversation with the poor lady who she has no clue why I'm not able to come there anymore either when I'm talking to her, because she can't see any information, and then she checks with somebody and then they tell her why, and then I never get a call back. So please take me off the list. But anyway, I did get called from that. I guess he was the GM right after that video service, and he was like, "Okay, look," and he was nice. I'm surprised that I got banned from the auction because of how nice he was. And he said, "Look, Brandon, I really like your videos. I like what you're doing. You just can't do them here." So me and him talked for quite a bit, and he was like, "I see you're doing good things for the consumer. You're letting them know what cars they should buy, what they should pay. It's great. I really want you to keep doing exactly what you're doing. I just want you not to do it here anymore." So it was very surprising that he would take that approach, and then I would get banned from the auction. So if they want to reassess the situation and let me come back, I won't film there again. But I also don't need that auction. It's fine. It's going to be, out of the 5 or 6 auctions that we have access to in my immediate area, it's the last of the ones that I want to go to, just because of the issues that they've dealt with. And it's not the auction's fault. It's the company that bought them. That's whose fault it is. And they're just hemorrhaging money. But as far as the channel is concerned now, nothing's going to change. The auctions that you regularly see on my channel, we can still film there. I actually know the owners of that auction. They are fantastic. The auction's fantastic. The fees are great. The sellers that they have there are great. And they are very transparent about what the market is going through. I've actually interviewed them on our main channel and on this channel too, and they tell it like it is. And I think we need more of that in the car market, and I'm very grateful for them. So as far as what you get to view on our channel, it's going to be the same. I've actually reached out to a lot of other auctions to try to expand the what we can film and where we can film, and still waiting to hear back. We've got a couple. We've got a partnership with Copart coming up. We'll be able to hit that and show you what's going on there. There's another auction that we're in talks with to hopefully try to get to film there. And I've got a bunch of other feeler emails sent out. So if you've got an auction, if you work at an auction, if you want me to come film, give you some free publicity, if you're a dealership, you want some free publicity, hit me up, send me an email. I will come, I'll film there, and I will ask you, I'm going to ask you real questions though. So you're going to have real answers. But other than that, free advertising for you. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave us a comment down and let me know what you think about all of this. And I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us today.